On Legion, Azrael here, like always, and we got some Flash stuff. Let's just get straight into it, check it out, see what it's all about. This is good. This is a little longer clip, so let's just go.
The things we see,
Savitar.
we face.
Iris is dead. I hope she turns into Killer Frost.
Thank you.
I'm glad he's on the team.
I did find at least 6 ways you could have done it more efficiently.
The hot cheerleaders seem to love the way that we did things.
What up, Central City? The name's Kid Flash. Yo, hey, that's where... What? My suit goes there.
That is a conundrum.
Slow down there. Let's just talk about this. Like two adults over coffee or maybe dinner.
Are you kidding me?
Why do you think that you're the only one
She's
who
pretty
wants
hot.
your life to do good? I want my life to mean something. That I, Iris West, mattered.
I don't know what
Damn.
the future holds. None of us do. We will face it together.
And she's pretty hot too. I think it's the best one so far.
It's a real hero, Joe. Both my sons are heroes.
It's going pretty well, man. Flash is hitting all
Thanks for
aces.
watching. Subscribe.
Cisco, I need you to calm the fuck down and get out of my face. All right, you just need to go the fuck away. No, like I said in the last reaction, love Cisco. I love his character. Probably one of my favorite characters. It's the repetitive of this. You know, come on, CW YouTube. Let's get some other stuff out here besides poor Cisco running his mouth every fucking day. I think Flash is doing it the best out of all of them. Supergirl, especially DC Legends. I know I praised that show in my reaction, but just overall, like the whole last season, I think, or most of it, I don't remember. I burped. Excuse me. We got Kid Flash. Kid Flash is rocking it. I'm glad they didn't go with the same stupid redhead boy that was in the last, Young Justice. Glad they didn't do red and white top and bottom, yellow top, red bottom, I think is how it went, or something similar. I'm glad they decided, I'm glad the guy that plays Wally is not an over-talkative, hyperactive kind of loser like the original one. He's just kind of a cooler guy. More of to prove himself than full of himself, which is a nice take on the character. I really like that. So the writing's good there. I can't wait to see Killer Frost. I want Killer Frost to come out full bore. I want her to be just a character. They probably don't have the budget to do her special effects. I don't care. I will take pencil drawings that a guy in a black ninja outfit will then run across like this is an old-timey play. What else? I'm glad that Slytherin has made itself into the Flash team. That's really cool. I really like that guy. I think he, when he's not being so dour, and he's actually being funny. I found 16 different ways you could have done it better. I'm like, yeah, that's hilarious. I like the way, ha. That's just, that's just awesome, man. I love it. I love that guy, and I think he's a good addition to the show. I hope he stays on the show. I hope he stays. I really do. I hope he doesn't get killed off. I hope he doesn't go the way of Firestorm, which Firestorm being the Rory, the original Firestorm. Was his name Rory too? No, that's what's his face. The guy that Stephen Amell. Stephen Amell, not Robbie Amell. Robbie Amell. Fuck yeah, Robbie Amell. He was in you get the first Firestorm. Let's just hope he doesn't go the way of him and just leaves the show, because that would kind of suck. I do notice that DC, I mentioned this before, I think on DC, or no, it was Arrow, about diversifying the cast. There's a lot of sexy brown women coming on the DC shows, if I do say so myself. The girl that's playing the new, or supposedly the new Black Canary, very brown, attractive young woman. This girl right here, very attractive. I did notice when the shows were first made, they in DC Legends and in The Flash, both characters that were played by the typical white guy were replaced, which is fine, which is nice. It's nice to see that difference. I said that I believe in an era where maybe when these comics were made years and decades ago, it would have been more prudent, or not prudent. Let's get away from that word. It would have been more likely, I guess, the way the country was, maybe the population of the country, that a lot of these characters would have been white people. That might have been a thing. And then the times, of course, when they were created, the times, it was just more lucrative. It's more beneficial to have everybody white. But now when everything is such in flux, these content creators go, well, F the stereotypes, F the, the stereotypes in the shows and comics. Let's do things the way we want to do them. Let's get somebody that is black or Asian or Hispanic or whatever into these shows because, well, right now, with the way the population has grown in our country, most of these characters being Americans, it is very plausible that not everybody, like it was in the past, it was like, I don't know what the odds would have been in the 40s when, say, Superman and everything else was created. Was it the 40s? I think it was the 40s, yeah. I don't think it was any earlier than that. And then, 60s and 70s and all that stuff. I don't know what the stats would have been, the probability of everybody with powers being white. But I think nowadays, when our country is just full of all kinds of just different ethnicities, different religions, different this, different that, and there's more of us here in this country, I definitely think it is not just plausible, but is a fact that not everybody in the Justice League would be white or would be a certain color. There wouldn't be just, now there isn't just the, oh God, what's his name? Is it John Jones? I know John Jones, but John Jones is the other Green Lantern, which is the black guy, which is nice that, that they got rid of Hal Jordan for a while. They actually killed off the white guy. He went to be the Spectre and go and kill Apocalypse, but then he got resurrected. Read that comic. That's a fun comic. And they gave it to, the black dude. And that guy has never had a death-defying moment in his comic book career. That's probably not true. And then they brought Guy Gardner, which is the worst white person ever created in a comic book. I hate that character. I want him to die. And then, so I'm really glad that there's just more diverse. Wonder Woman has always been kind of a white woman, but as an islander, Themyscira, you would think there would be not a brown, not a white, but like a tan. You would think there'd be a tan. It's not like the same islanders, like Rihanna Islanders, but living in a world where you're not indoors all the time, where everything is old-timey Greek, pretty much, you would think that everybody would not be as pale. They do have some very attractive, I guess, kind of redhead women there. Fine. They have some darker women there. Awesome. But I don't know how many people that maybe aren't redhead should be as pale. Because it's an island nation that doesn't focus on being lazy in the indoors like this pale, tubby white guy right here. So I definitely think there's always room for more of the color palettes out there. And I think it does add to the show because it's different people from actors, different people from different backgrounds, different life experiences, different ways of doing things. And I think that makes more of a funny and awesome reaction when the actors say are Asian, Hispanic, or white, and whoever. And all these differences come together to make this different experience that would be probably not as entertaining if it was two black people, two white people, two Asian people. This two actors of the same ethnicity going at each other or acting with each other is one thing, and it can be incredible. But I think your ethnicity, your background, and what makes you different comes to the table when you're acting and you're doing stuff, and I think that makes for a whole different kind of experience. Good interactions. It's just like sports. If every sport was played either by white people or black people or this or that, I think it would get kind of like, yeah, we expected that. But when you have all these multinational people playing together, multiracial people, it always makes for, I think, a better show. It comes out better, more of a quality product. So that's just kind of my view on things, and I'm glad that Flash is definitely keeping it to that. I'm glad that DC on CW is definitely keeping it to a very broad strokes to our fellow Americans and or other people across the ponds and whatnot, because there's some British people and maybe some Canadians. I don't exactly know. But I'm glad they're not just, I'm just glad they're not just pigeonholing it, just being those people, and just making it a predominantly insert skin tone here cast white. And so, yeah, this is a little longer than I thought it was going to be. Yeah, it's the second time I've talked about race in these shows. I don't know. I've never noticed it before. I just watched this show, and I guess doing all the DC reactions right now is just kind of reminded me that they are some of the few people that they're ahead. There's a lot of people that do it, but they're definitely ahead of a lot of other TV shows that are inserting multiracial casting, which is good. I mentioned this before when Doctor Strange came out. Everybody got pissed that the I can't remember the person's name, but it was supposed to be an immortal or whatever it is Asian man, and they made it a white English woman, and everybody got really pissed. Scarlett Johansson is playing Major Kitasaki. Is that her name? What the fuck's her name? The Major. Oh god, I can't actually remember her name. It's been so long. And she, that character is possibly, even if that person was born a white person from America, which was like one of the theories maybe, that she was like 60 to like 100 years old, the body she's in is an Asian woman. And people got kind of pissed that Scarlett Johansson was playing this character, this Asian woman. And so it's nice to see that TV is still kind of going the route of keeping things different but not ruining things. And with that, I'm just going to end right there. We're on 12 minutes. Jesus. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you on whatever I do next. Later.